Welcome to this explainer, man. Look, today we're tackling what is literally the absolute holy grail of life milestones. You know the big ones everyone talks about, right? Hitting your 18th birthday, landing that first $100,000 salary, building $1 million net worth, or finally running a 7-minute mile. But honestly, right up there alongside all of those is the highly elusive, ultra-disciplined 4:30 a.m. wake-up time. Today we're breaking down exactly how to conquer it, and more importantly, we're going to show you why it's completely within your reach.
All right, so here's our game plan to completely rewire your sleep schedule. And we're going to do it without the usual preachy self-help fluff. We're going to hit 1, the ultimate wake-up time, 2, why optimal routines fail, 3, the one-alarm method, 4, hacking your bedtime, and finally, 5, levels to sleep mastery. Let's get into it.
Section 1, the ultimate wake-up time, why 4:30 a.m. Let's kick things off by breaking down exactly why this specific schedule is the undisputed king.
The sheer math of this is absolutely incredible. Assuming you work a standard 9-to-5 job, or maybe you have school, or whatever shady business you've got planned during the day, waking up at 4:30 gives you exactly 4.5 hours of free time before work and exactly 4.5 hours of free time after work, all while still leaving you a solid 7 hours to sleep. It's fully optimal. And hey, if you're using a 24-hour clock on your phone to track this, we all know you're secretly converting it back to regular time in your head anyway. The real point here is that the balance this number brings to your day is just unmatched.
Just contrast the standard schedule with this balanced 4:30 a.m. approach. Normally, what do people do? They wake up as late as they can possibly get away with, and they go to sleep as late as they can get away with. And what happens? All of your free time gets clumped together in one big block at the very end of the day. You're completely exhausted from work or school, everyone else is awake and blowing up your phone to distract you, and honestly, having so much free time all at once inevitably leads to wasting hours of it. But when you balance it out, you're primed to actually make the most of your day.
Now, I know you might be sitting there thinking, look, man, sleep is a super low priority for me right now. Dude, I got other things to worry about. I want to get ripped, get rich, get smart, get good grades, start a business. You're on your grind, and you probably think you'll worry about waking up early when you're 95 years old. But what people completely fail to realize is that going to sleep earlier and waking up earlier indirectly fixes every single one of those problems. It provides the undistracted foundation you actually need to hit those goals.
Which brings us to Section 2, why optimal routines fail, the myth of motivation. Now, let's tear down the ridiculous internet advice you get when you Google how to wake up early.
Let's just call this quote-unquote optimal plan for what it actually is, all right? It's a massive list of chores. The internet tells you to take a warm shower at night, even if you're a morning showerer. Then dim the lights, somehow try to read a book in the dark, meditate for the first time since last year, and force yourself into bed 3 hours earlier than usual where you'll inevitably just toss and turn. Then, you're supposed to magically wake up, take a freezing cold shower, run 2 miles, and fast until lunch. Give me a break. No matter how good this advice supposedly is, it relies entirely on you suddenly finding the sheer motivation to do things you've never done before every single day for the rest of your life. It's a complete setup for failure.
So we're completely scrapping that. Moving on to Section 3, the one-alarm method, rewiring your brain. Instead of relying on motivation, we're going to use a straight-up Pavlovian conditioning hack. It's exactly how dogs automatically associate a certain trigger word with a bath or a walk. Though I'm definitely not going to say the dog trigger word out loud right now just in case any dogs are watching this explainer with you.
Here's exactly how we train your brain. Step 1, delete all extra alarms immediately. Seriously, if your phone currently looks like a CVS receipt of alarms spaced 2 minutes apart, delete them. All you're doing is teaching your brain that alarm sounds are a joke and don't need to be taken seriously. Step 2 is where the magic actually happens. You practice hearing your alarm and jumping out of bed during the day. We are treating waking up like a literal athletic drill. And step 3 is when this naturally builds into automatic muscle memory for the next morning.
So the crucial part is how you practice this drill. And you can literally do this right now. Turn off the lights so it's dark, get under the covers, pretend to sleep, and set a timer on your phone for exactly 1 minute. The exact second that alarm goes off, you immediately jump out of bed. Switch off the alarm, hit the lights, grab a big gulp of water, walk to the bathroom, and splash cold water on your face. The whole routine takes maybe a minute or 2. Once you're done, reset and repeat the entire process at least 5 times. You are physically conditioning your brain to react to that sound with action, not negotiation. Okay, so now that you know how to physically get your body out of bed, we have to tackle the root of the problem. Section 4, hacking your bedtime. No more vibes. We have to fix your nighttime routine so waking up at 4:30 a.m. doesn't completely ruin your life and leave you exhausted all day.
There's this perfect analogy that brilliantly illustrates the core issue with how we sleep. See, most people try to go to sleep based on vibes. You think, yeah, I'll try to sleep around 9 o'clock, then it's 9:01, so you think, well, I missed 9 o'clock, let's shoot for a nice round number like 9:30, then at 9:31, you push it to 10 o'clock, you just keep waiting until the clock hits single digits again. You're leaving your bedtime up to the tired, undisciplined nighttime version of yourself to figure out. Without a set plan, going to sleep based on vibes is literally like trying to hit a target with a dart, except you completely forgot to buy the target.
So, let's actually give you a target. Section 5, Levels to Sleep Mastery, the step-by-step game plan. We're going to gamify this whole transition by breaking your new nighttime habits down into 6 actionable, highly effective levels. Level 1 is the 15-minute shift. Look, if you currently wake up at 7 a.m., do not try to wake up at 4:30 a.m. tomorrow. You will fail. Instead, just move your bedtime and your wake-up time back by 15 minutes a day. Day 1, set your alarm for 6:45. Day 2, 6:30. Day 3, 6:15. It feels slow, but this gradual, totally painless approach means you'll successfully hit your 4:30 a.m. target schedule in exactly 10 days. And because you have a strict, mathematically calculated bedtime every single night, you don't have to rely on those vibes. You just follow the clock.
Level 2 is dealing with the light. We all know bright blue light ruins your sleep. But those default blue light filters on your phone and laptop, yeah, they're weak. This is a situation where you gotta go big or go home. You need to dive into your device settings and turn your screens as red as they can possibly get. Seriously, the redder the better. And swap out your overhead bedroom lights for a warm-colored lamp as bedtime approaches.
All right, level 3 is the 30-minute rule. You have to stop using screens entirely 30 minutes before bed. Now you might think, but man, I have important business to finish. Let's be real for a second. When you work late, you often end up wasting 4 hours scrolling anyway, and then you just dip into your sleep time to make up for it. Don't even give yourself that option. You're gonna wake up early anyway, and you'll be way more productive in the morning with a strict time limit. So for those 30 minutes before bed, do literally anything else. Read a pressure washer operations manual, clean the house, stretch, prep your breakfast for the next day. Just absolutely no screens. Moving on to levels 4 and 5, which are all about your physiological inputs. First up, caffeine. It stays in your system for up to 10 hours. If you want to make falling asleep easy, cut out all caffeine after lunch. Period. End of story. Next is food. Eating heavy meals right close to bedtime keeps your digestion active and completely ruins your rest. Eat your last meal earlier than usual, and I guarantee you'll notice you fall asleep way faster. Finally, exercise. And I mean actual tiring physical activity where you're moving around and exhausting your body, not just lying down on a bench press for an hour looking at your phone. Tire yourself out physically and sleep comes easily.
And finally, we arrive at level 6, the ultimate test. Waking up at 4:30 a.m. every single day, even on the weekends. Now, I'm going to be completely honest with you here, man. We put this at the end of the list mostly for fun because almost nobody actually does this. But if you truly want to lock in your circadian rhythm and become an absolute master of your schedule, maintaining that consistency through Saturday and Sunday is the final boss of sleep mastery.
So the absolutely crucial question to ask yourself right now is this. Once you beat these 6 levels, delete those backup alarms, and master the one alarm jump out of bed method, what are you going to conquer? You just bought yourself 4.5 hours of pure, undistracted freedom before the rest of the world even opens its eyes. Will you get ripped? Will you get smart? Will you finally start that business? The blueprint is right here in this explainer. The time is waiting for you at 4:30 a.m. What will you do with it?